everybody. Welcome to the Soulful Eclectic. I am your host, Diana Collins, and I want to welcome everyone to this episode. If this is the first time you're joining us, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out to spend with me and to listen to what I have to say and share your thoughts. I totally appreciate you. And if you are coming back, I just want to say welcome back, and thank you for coming back and listening and taking the time to listen and be a part of the Soulful Eclectic. So I do want to thank my sponsors, which is the Divine Nubian Essentials. If you guys have not tried Divine Nubian Essentials, body products, hair products, I would suggest that you do. I have been using Divine Nubian Essentials ever since I created it more than 5 years ago. And my hair has been doing phenomenal. My skin is amazing. And you know what? I just love the product. It's to my heart. And thank you to Collins Education Resource Management for those who are looking for tutors or looking for speakers, speaking on health and wellness and maintaining your sense of self in this crazy world. Let me know. And Collins Education will definitely help you with that. For my students who are in healthcare or pursuing healthcare, careers and education, degree paths, and you're struggling, please reach out. I will be happy to help you out as you navigate these programs, because it is tough. But yes, so thank you to those sponsors. I thank you so much, and I appreciate your support. So this is the third episode, season 5, right? And the first couple of episodes were just kind of really getting back in the mix. As I said, I had lost a lot of content on my computer, and so I'm kind of just rebuilding and restarting all that stuff all over again. And so we talked about menopause, which is always great. Men do have menopause, as I pointed out, right? And through experienced menopause of some sort. And then I just had my moment of rambling for the next episode, which is just like, oh my gosh, everything that my mind could create and think of at the moment. But today is something that I was thinking about for the past couple of months, and I didn't know really how to approach it. And then I came across this article. So I know I am of that Gen X generation. You know, I think it's born in after 1975 to the 80s, or I mean, the timeline is different depending on who you listen to for Gen X, but I believe I'm in that Gen X bracket. So my mom, parents, and grandparents are all baby boomers and so forth and so on. So I was reading an article, and it was about the calling women of a certain age Auntie, right? Those who are not of your actual lineage. So if they're not actually your mother, sister, or even uncle, right? Because we do it for men too. So uncle, if they're not directly related to you, we tend to call those of the older generation auntie and uncle. And there was this article was sharing some some conversation on how some people don't want to be referred as such. I think they were alluding to Miss Maxine Waters, right? The Honorable Maxine Waters, who often speaks on injustice, civil rights, those kind of things. So the article alluded that in a way it was disrespectful for somebody. I think another person said Auntie Maxine said her thing, did her thing, or whatever the case may be. And we've often referred to individuals as auntie, uncle, especially I think one of the songwriters, singers, Charlie Wilson, right? Uncle Charlie, they call him. So it's just like, it's not something that's unheard of for both men and women. But what this article was saying is that it is no longer seen as a sign of respect for someone to be considered auntie and uncle. And actually, some people are refusing or are asking individuals to not refer to them as such. And I'm not going to sit here and name who they named in the article. That's just not what I'm going to do. But there were certain individuals that said they don't want to be referred to as auntie or uncle, and they are of star stature. So I started thinking about it because recently, there's been a lot of things transpiring with life and different things, and you're starting to see people in different light and things like that. But I've always grown up with that. So if there were individuals within our family structure that were great friends of our aunts, uncles, moms, dads, grandparents, whomever, if we saw them more than what usually is more than twice, come to the house and be a part of family functions, you were auntie, you were uncle, because now you are officially part of the family. I've seen you quite often that I'm taking off of the Mrs. and Mr. and I'm referring you to auntie and uncle. That's just how we were raised. So it just threw me off when I came across that article, like, wow. There is that piece where, and I think it was in the article, that the young lady was saying that it was of slave derivative, that they called us auntie and uncle because they saw us not fitting for us to be referred to as Mrs. and Mr. So the person of not color would call the person of color auntie or uncle. And it was still a sign of respect because, I mean, honestly, if you feel like I don't deserve Mr. or Mrs., but you're calling me auntie and uncle, to me, that's still a bit of respect. But they were saying that it took them back to those slave times when they weren't respected. But if you look at cultures like African culture, Asian cultures, Middle Eastern cultures, they call the adult friends and family that come into their lives auntie and uncle. Like, I've been to parties, Nigerian parties, and I would be handed people's children and they were like, go to auntie, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, take on the kids and, chit chat with the kids, whatever. And I was thrown off when it first happened. But then as I started going and continued to go to these kind of cultural parties and events, it was an honor for me that you saw enough of me to want to invite me into your family, where some people don't see it that way. And I do understand that there was this other piece in the article where the young lady was saying that to be considered or be referred to as auntie or uncle comes with a level of responsibility. And I would say to that, it all depends on, where you are. I don't see it as a level of responsibility from an individual if I refer to you as auntie or uncle. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say, put me in your will. It's just not that kind of thing. It's a sign of respect and admiration and appreciation from me as an individual to that person to refer to them as auntie or uncle. And usually it's not going to be the first encounter, as I pointed out, that we're going to refer to somebody as auntie and uncle. Usually it's over several occasions of meeting this person that you refer to them as auntie and uncle. And the same with my children. If someone is a close friend of mine and they've seen them at the house, I've taken care of their kids, and we are close friends, they will refer to them as auntie and or uncle. And that's fine. And that's respectful in my eyes. But it kind of just threw me off when it was like, oh, that's disrespectful. It takes us back to slave days. But I think it's a sign of respect and admiration for the individual, in all honesty. So I'm really curious to see how other people are seeing the auntie and uncle reverence used. And it's just one of those things. I don't know. I mean, like I said, you see Uncle Charlie, Charlie Wilson, Snoop Dogg calls him Uncle Charlie. And then now he's known as Uncle Charlie. And I'm just like, okay, I never thought anything of it until, again, I came across the article, and it kind of like just threw me back. I was like, hey, okay. So y'all really getting mad and hot under the collar because somebody referred to you as Auntie so-and-so or Uncle so-and-so. But, I think the other part that comes to mind with that is that that whole ageism kind of thing. Because, yes, usually if we're calling someone auntie and uncle, they are older than we are. In respect, right? They tend to be older than we are. So that is the other thing that the article had pointed out, was that no one wants to be referred to as being older or an elder. So calling them auntie and uncle takes that away from that. But to me, I'm saying, if they're calling you Miss and Mr., to me that is still denoting age on some level. Because I don't know about anyone else, but if you're 20 something years old, I rarely call you Miss so-and-so or Mrs. so-and-so. I mean, I can't say that either. No. Yeah, I'm thinking, I had to stop and think about any of the 20-year-olds that I have encountered in business. And I don't know if I've ever called them Miss or Mr. to be honest. And it's no disrespect. I'm honestly, truly sitting here thinking about it. It's like, well, shit, did I ever call a 20-year-old Miss? Probably not. Wow. Yeah, I really don't know. I probably did. Let me just say this. I probably did out of respect because of their position, which we tend to do. Call them Miss so-and-so if they are of business stature. So I can't say no. Coming to think, as I'm sitting here recounting like my existence in life and things of that nature, I probably have. And then out of habit, calling somebody ma'am is the other thing. Sir and ma'am is out of respect, right? And so why auntie and uncle are not able to fall into that same category? I don't know. I would like to see what others think about that. And if you sit and ponder what that feels like to you, and how would that make you feel if you're not someone's actual aunt or uncle, right? So the friends of your children come over and start calling you auntie so-and-so or uncle so-and-so. How would that make you feel? Think about it. How would that make you feel? To me, I feel, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I feel like it's an honor for someone to, again, I think I said that already, but I think it's an honor for somebody to refer to me as auntie or uncle, because that's to me, it's a real sign of respect, that you respect who I am and my position in society. And then, go from there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That article really threw me for a loop. Like, I was really wondering what in the world is happening in the world that we're, mad about somebody being called auntie and uncle. And again, as I said, it pointed out that a lot of communities, a lot of cultures that's the norm. And I've witnessed it. And if you've actually paid attention to a lot of movies and things, even your latest Marvel with Shang Shu, or that one, I mean, he referred to the young lady's mom as Auntie. And they've been friends forever as kids, as teenagers. They were friends. And then they grew up together, and he referred to her as Auntie. And as I pointed out in, the Nigerian, the African community, you're referred to as Auntie or uncle. So, yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden this is a big deal and everyone feels their age. I mean, we're aging. We're not meant to be the same age forever. So why is this such a bone of contention for people? I just don't get it. To me, again, it's not a sign of disrespect. It's just very respectful, and especially when it's not said, or the tone of it is not of disrespect, and with that. So yeah, I think we just need to take a chill pill. We've become this society where everything that is said is an insult, when we have to listen to the tone of it and what is in reference to before we just launch into attack on different things and lunge at people. It's just, see where we are. Hey, where are you in your head where this is bothering you so much? That's the other thing. Where are you that somebody calling you auntie or somebody calling you uncle really pisses you off and messes up your day? I'm really curious to know, because the article really did not explain in detail or at all why these individuals did not want to be called auntie and uncle, besides the fact that it denoted age of some sort. And so, and they felt that there was a level of responsibility that was attached to that salutation. And maybe that's just it. Maybe that's enough for it to be enough to say, hey, yeah, I don't want that. And then, okay, I can see that. I mean, again, it's not for me to say whether it's right or wrong. You can call me Auntie Diana. That's fine. I'm all for it. I won't be mad at it. It's all good. But just know, those individuals were saying, that there is a level of responsibility that they feel is attached to it. If someone is calling me auntie, I take that very seriously. Again, it's an honor for me. So therefore, there's auntie things that go along with that. I'm going to talk to you like you, my little niece and my nephew, and things like that. So if you are of that mindset to call me auntie, just know it's on and popping. I'm about to tell you about yourself when you are in the wrong, and I'm going to praise you when you're in the right, and I'm going to be there and help you. That's just the way I am, until you fall off, because that's the other thing, right? Don't just get it twisted that because you call me auntie, I'm just going to be all in and that's going to be it. No, there's a level of respect and, togetherness that goes along with that. So it's just it's give and take. So don't be that person that just kind of just take advantage, because then that's when your feelings going to get hurt and you're going to really feel auntie's wrath, right? So you don't want to have that happen. So yeah, so it's just those kind of things. But yeah, let me know. Think about it. Share and have a conversation and say, hey, how do you feel about being somebody calling you auntie and uncle? That's not your niece or nephew from your sister. Those kind of things. Because to me, I honor it. I respect it. I appreciate it. But it just had me thinking, it's well, shoot. Now I got to be mindful of who I call auntie. I got to ask you now, do you mind if I call you auntie so-and-so? Do you mind if I call you uncle so-and-so? And it's funny because I just said that I know. Here I am, 40 something years old. But I did. Someone that I've known for a few years, and they're significantly older than I am. And I just felt weird, calling this gentleman by his first name all the time. And I was like, you mind if I call you Uncle so-and-so? And he's like, nope, that is perfectly fine. I was like, thank you. So, yeah, so I think, and that was just me before I read the article that I did that. So I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, well, shoot, I did ask if you mind if I call you Aunt so-and-so and Uncle so-and-so. So, yeah. So I guess if that's the way you want to approach it, I did it unknowingly, so unconsciously. I did it and asked permission. So if you want to call somebody auntie and uncle, I guess before you just take it upon yourself to do so, ask permission. Can I call you auntie? Can I call you uncle? And then from there is on, right? But yeah, let me know what you think and how you feel about that. I'm really curious, honestly. I really am. So please do share with me how you navigate that, if you do, because some people may not even do that. Gen Z and the millennials, they barely want to call you Miss, Mr., Ma'am, Sir. So let alone call you auntie, uncle. I think some barely call a mom or dad. They call them by their first name or whatever. So it's a whole different it's a different world out there. But I just know my kids, my future grandkids, my nieces and nephews, y'all better not come over here call me by my first name. You will get the crap slapped out of you and ignored really quick. So let's not do that, okay? And your friends better be respectful. And I'm very blessed to have wonderful humans that I've raised, and they're very respectful to that. And I know my youngest daughter most definitely is very respectful for that. The oldest one, she's like, I'm adult, mom. So I'm like, okay, but yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, so I think my youngest is very respectful, and she'll tell her friends to call either Miss Collins or Miss Diana kind of thing. So I think, it's all in how we were raised and what we were, growing up seeing and doing. So yeah, let me know. I'm really, really curious to see what you guys think about that. And I'll share the article if I can find it again in the notes so you guys can take a peek at it, because it was a pretty decent read, and again, it left me with the question of, does this really bother people? But let me know and reach out. You can reach me on Divine Nubian Essentials. Good Lord. You can go to divinenubianessentials.com and you can purchase body butter, scrubs, hair products, you name it, right? You can reach me at dcthesoulfuleclectic.com. That's the email. Or you can reach me on the Soulful Eclectic website and also Instagram, the.soulfuleclectic. And so just drop me a message. Let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear. So please continue to take care of yourself and each other. And I wish you nothing but peace. Namaste.